Okay. All right, so we are live on Zoom, waiting for Facebook, and I believe we are live on Facebook now. So if any of you guys here from my staff, from the public, if you guys can comment and let me know if you can see me well on Zoom. I have people coming in, which is great. I can see you. Okay, good. Yeah, Rain, I can see you here. That's very good. I got a lot of people coming in here live. We had a great seminar today, all right? And this is not a marketing seminar. This is a relief webinar, all right? We're gonna help you guys because we've been getting help ourselves. This dude right here, you guys know who this guy is? You might have seen his face a few times already. He's Ernesto. He's one of my best people, my brother, my guy that has been battling the game of business with me for many, many years already. And we're here to show you a path for you to get some relief in this very, very difficult time. So, hi, Raj. I see the comments coming in. That's great. Laura, hi. Great to see you here. I know this is all super last minute improvised, so it's great to have you here. I want to help you guys all with this information. I believe that this information is game changer, so I want to give it to you guys. Can anybody confirm if we are live on Facebook? Rain, you're going to have to feed comments to me and also keep me updated as to how many people we have here, just like we've done in the past. All right. So, Ernesto, what are we going to talk to them about today?
We're going to talk about the payment, which is actually the technical word is Paycheck Protection Program, PPP.
Okay, let's correct that right away. All right. It's not payment, it's paycheck. Okay. All right. And what is that, Ernesto?
The Paycheck Protection Program is a program that the government is doing to assist small businesses of 500 staff or less. They got a grant of $349 billion to help out businesses to pay for the next 2 months of payroll.
Okay, so it wasn't 350 billion. It's 349 billion.
349 billion.
Okay, so just so we're clear, all right, it's $349 billion. So as you guys know, the government created this relief package, which was more than $2 trillion. That's a lot of money, guys. You know how many zeros that is? Let's see. So 2, that's million, that's billion, that's trillion, okay? Would you guys agree that that's a lot of money? All right, look at that. It's a lot of zeros right there. So here's the thing. Throughout history, a lot of people like me, we are very proud. I don't need government assistance. In the last 10 years, I've never needed government assistance. I have actually paved my own way, and I have been doing fantastic and expanding and growing. And overall, I have been flourishing. And on the other side, I have been giving the government help, not getting help from the government because we pay them a lot of taxes. If we pay a lot of taxes, it's a good thing because it means that we're making a lot of money generally, right? So we have been providing this strength, this energy to the government for many years. This very difficult time right now that we're going through right now, the government is giving back to us. For whatever reason there may be for it, let me just tell you one thing. Either you take it or somebody else will. The way that this program rolled out, which is a Paycheck Protection Program, instead of the $2 trillion, and again, just to be clear, Ernesto and I have no interest in making income from any of you guys listening to this. I'm not selling you a service. I'm literally just providing you the information that we've gathered, because if businesses fail, then we're in trouble, all right? Because our job is to help businesses thrive. So if they go out of business, well, do we have a job?
No.
Without businesses, I don't have a job. So I want to help you guys survive during these very difficult times, all right? Because we are a business-to-business organization. We help businesses survive. This is the thing. So let's talk about a few rules. What is I already know a lot because Ernesto and I have been diving into this throughout the last week or so, right?
Since last Thursday.
So out of the $2 trillion, how much money is assigned to the PPP?
349 billion.
Okay, so that's quite a bit of money, right?
That's quite a bit, but it will run out at some point.
What happens when this money runs out?
Then no more money gets distributed.
If you apply for this Paycheck Protection Program after they spend $349 billion? What's going to happen?
Then the doors are closed for this program.
Okay, so wow, right? So that means that we need to be, I don't know if you guys remember, or if you ever were part of this particular world, of the Apple world, that when they launched a new iPhone or a new iPad, I know I did that. You will stay awake until 12 o'clock at midnight or 3 a.m. because sometimes it was like 12 a.m. Pacific time, and that was 3 a.m. my time, just so I can order an iPhone before it would run out. This is the same situation that we're going through tomorrow, all right? Now, is it going to run out overnight at the midnight? I don't think so. But again, this is unprecedented. It's never been done before. We don't have any data as to this process being a part of the world before. It's the first time it has ever happened.
Yeah.
Okay. So a couple of basics. What is a basic number one on this program? Explain to them, to our audience, who applies, who's gonna be able to qualify for this particular program.
Well, first of all, I want to say that all this information that we are giving you is stuff that we research. We read articles, we watch videos, we talk to our CPA, we talk to our accountant, bookkeeper, and this is not a legal advice. Obviously, we're just going to communicate to you what we have learned. So in order to qualify for this program, your sales from February to March should go down at least 25%.
Okay, so let's talk about prerequisites, okay? Prerequisites. Okay, explain that. What do you mean by sales gone down 25% since February? Because when did the coronavirus explode? When was COVID-19 a big thing?
Middle of February?
Middle of February, it was already going around China at some point. I know it was already going through China since December or January, and it started going pretty like international at some point around February. So they believe, if you guys have some feedback on that, you can let me know. You might have been more involved in this particular world. So you guys tell me, when do you think this coronavirus exploded? Give me some feedback on that, right? When was it a big deal? So the rule that Ernesto just said, okay, so let's put a list of prerequisites here. If you're going to qualify for this, you have to have seen a decrease in sales, in revenue for your organization of 25%, all right? 25% decrease. Okay, so before we get into other prerequisites, it makes sense that we explain what can you get with the Payment Protection Program. What are they going to get? Anybody. Let's say if they're a solopreneur, or if they have 5 employees, or if they have 100 employees, or if they have 499 employees, what are they going to get with this?
Well, the first thing that I want to say is if you are paying more than or less than $10,000 a year on payroll, this is not your program. There's other programs. But if you're paying more than $10,000 a year,
okay. All right, so let's
then
put it
this
over
is
here.
your program.
$10K a year, all right, in payroll. Okay, so
So essentially what you're gonna get enough money to cover the next 2 months of payroll, rent, and utility bills.
okay, good. So what they're doing right now with this program, and if you guys have questions, go ahead and post them. Again, we are not financial advisors. For you guys that are joining on Facebook, for you guys that are on Zoom right now, we are not here to give you financial advice. We are here to feed to you the data that we have acquired over the last week or so since this program was announced. And I believe this program will help a lot of you guys, including ourselves and our clients. And we're going to make sure that all the AGM clients are well informed as to what this program is and how it applies. The reason we're doing this today is because today is Thursday, all right? Tomorrow, AGM, us here, we are still at the offices. Tomorrow, we're going to be fully working remotely. Ernesto and I are kind of like family, but we're not directly family. So we're trying to stay away. We don't shake hands anymore. We're not really 6 feet away, Neto. I think we're like 2 or 3 feet away. But we have, if we're 6 feet away, we won't see you guys. So we're just making an exception because we're going to educate you, but you do want to abide by those rules. And we're going to continue doing that. And tomorrow we're going to be working fully remotely. In Florida, there's some rules and laws. Now, in our case, we already looked into it. Technically, AGM is an essential business, but we're going to make it an optional thing for some of our staff. They're going to be handled individually. Why are we essential? Well, because we help about 40% of our clients. We got doctors, we got naturopaths, we got therapists, we got people that are on the healthcare industry. And because of that, we do help them continue servicing the world. And we're an extension of their marketing. And because of that, we are technically an essential business. So we are going to be able to operate, but we will give that opportunity to people. All right, great. So that being said, so $10K a year in payroll. If you guys are paying $10,000 in payroll a year, raise your hand in Zoom, comment on Facebook and let me know. And I would love to hear your comments on that. So exactly. So Craig says on Zoom, so 10K minus 10K, you do not qualify. You're right. If you have less than 10K, but stay around because we will tell you where you can actually qualify, because there's, again, what did I say? $2 trillion, 350 billion are for this particular program. There's another $1.7 trillion. All right. You still got some money left. Don't worry about it. There's an option for those of you guys that have other situations. So we'll talk about that in a second. So I got Kelsey saying, thank you for doing this. We spent the last week digging through articles on the bill itself to try and make sense of this. Okay, glad you're enjoying it. So Rachel says, my business is non-existent at the moment. Tourism industry. Rachel, you probably qualify. They're trying to, this program is meant to keep people on the payroll. So if you are able to continue paying them, then you can get the support and not have to let go of your team. And that's the main reason behind it. Okay, long story short, all right? There's a lot of data about this particular program. Let's go back to the Paycheck Protection Program. Mm-hmm. Payment is kind of like stupid. That was stupid, right? It's paycheck. That's what it's all about. They look at the last 12 months of.
It's actually all of the 12 months in 2019.
So all the 12 months in 2019. Mm-hmm. So from January to December.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And does it include January and February and March?
No.
Oh, so really, it's 2019. Okay, so I learned something new.
Mm-hmm.
So they look at your 2019 payroll,
mm-hmm.
all right? And they add all that money out. And then they give you 2.5 months on this loan.
Correct.
2.5 months, okay?
Correct.
And then, as to my understanding is that they give you 2.5 months. So let's say that your payroll was $1 million, okay? And you paid your staff on W-2s, which is important. I'll tell you guys more about that in a second. Mm-hmm. Through a payroll company, you pay them $1 million, right? Mm-hmm. You are entitled to get close to $250,000 in actual payroll assistance.
Well, if it was $1 million, it would be around $80,000 a month. So 2.5 months, it's close to $200,000.
Close to $200,000. Okay, so you can
now here is a good key point. You're gonna submit this application. The bank is the one that decides how much you get. Even though they're saying you get 2.5%, they might give you a little less, a little more. We don't know.
Okay, good. So the bank decides it, and this is something else that we learned along the way. This loan has a maximum 4% interest. That's what the rule says. Maximum,
if you don't get it cleared out. If you don't get it cleared
okay, out. Got it. So basically there's something called payment defer, right? Mm-hmm. You don't have to pay anything for how long?
For 6 months.
For 6 months. So once you get the money in, you don't have to give them any money mm-hmm. for 6 months. Mm-hmm. There's a deferred, what is called payment deferment on the first 6 months. Correct. Deferred payment, all right? For the first 6 months. And then if you don't get forgiveness, loan forgiveness, mm-hmm. then you go into a maximum of 4%.
Correct.
Okay, good. So how do you get loan forgiveness for this particular thing?
This is how you get loan forgiveness. Using that same example, let's say we get $200,000.
I like loan forgiveness, by the way. I'm sure you guys will like that. It's basically loan forgiveness equals free money, correct?
Exactly.
Loan forgiveness equals free money from the government, mm-hmm. right? So either you get it or somebody else will. I'll guarantee you something. That money will be spent every single penny of it will be sent out to businesses out there. Okay. So how do you get it forgiven?
Now, from the day that you have the loan, you now have 8 weeks to spend that money on payroll, rent or mortgage, and utility bills.
Okay, so keep going.
Now, here's where some people have confusion. Some people say you get 2 months of payroll. Some people get 2.5 months of payroll. Well, you apply to get 2.5 months of your 2019 payroll average, but you have 8 weeks to pay it. At some point, the government is going to ask you to show proof that you spend this money on these 3 areas.
Payroll, rent, or what else?
Rent or mortgage, depending if you own or you rent, and utility bills.
Utility bills. Okay, great. So you basically have to spend that money there. All right. Why are they doing that? Because they want to make sure that you're not using that money so you can invest in gold or you can just get richer, right? They're putting that rule in place so you're getting assistance and you're committing to showing a couple of months after you got the loan that you use that money to keep your staff on the payroll, to continue paying your staff and get some actual production from your guys. Even if they go home, you can continue paying them. All right, this is the way it is. Because if you fire people, the employee that has been laid off, he also is going to apply to their own program, right? He's going to be able to get unemployment and other things. But if you have valuable staff, why not make sure you keep them on board? Again, even rent and even utility bills can be part of this particular thing. Anything else about this, Neto?
No, whatever you don't spend, if you don't spend it all, then that's what you got to pay back.
Right. And then on the payroll, I know that there's a couple of things inside the payroll that can qualify. For example, if you have insurance payments, that could be part of it, right? If you are putting money into an investment, into a savings account or a 401k or an investment account of an employee or employees, that could also go into it.
Correct.
Correct. Okay. So it's not only payroll, there's premium insurances, insurance premium, like if you have company insurance, and you have that for all your staff. Benefits, you can just include the invoices from those companies, and that's going to be able to be a part of what you are actually getting back as assistance from the government, so you can keep that in place.
Now, remember, this is to qualify to get this money. This is in 2019. So if you are paying for insurance or benefits now, but you were not paying in 2019, you do not submit that.
Perfect. Okay, good. I have a question now. Let's go. Let's see if we can answer a couple of these. From Castle Whale, I think I'm saying that incorrectly for sure. What about purchase of inventory? What about purchase of inventory?
Does not qualify.
Not part of it because it's not payroll, right? This is a Paycheck Protection Program, all right? There are some other things. For example, somebody's saying 1099 contractors. We have been going into that very deeply, precisely because our organization, AGM Marketing, we have 60 staff, all right? And we got about 20 of them that are W-2s, and we got another 40 that are 1099s, something like that, right? So we do have a lot of people on 1099s. So this guy right here just briefed me on what happens with the 1099 guys, and I also got a little bit of extra data. So I'll let him explain what happens with the guys that are 1099s that you're paying. Now, here's a question. Can you include payroll from other countries, or is it only US?
No.
Only US, all right? This is
it's a stimulus for the US economy.
US economy, all right? Don't feel, oh, my Philippine staff, or like, oh, my Mexican staff. It's not gonna fly, guys, because this is for the US organization that you have here because you're getting a government stimulus. So explain to them what happens with the 1099. Are they clueless? Are they lost? What's gonna happen with these people?
There's another program for the solopreneurs, 1099s, and people that are paying less than $10,000 in payroll. And it's actually, I believe we have it here. It's called the EIDL loan.
EIDL loan. So again, guys, any of you guys that are interested, you can just simply Google that term right there, EIDL loan, and you're going to get more information on that.
Which is the Economic Injury Disaster Loan.
Economic Injury Disaster Loan. Well, that's intense. Okay.
Mhm.
So what is that program going to do for people?
So this, you apply, there's a form with a bunch of questions you fill out. And if you get approved, with most people, you know, the word around is that most people will get approved, then you will get $10,000 and you don't have to pay it back.
$10,000 and you don't have to get it back. And for the 1099 contractors, all right, people that are 1099, this is what I understood about this program, all right? If you have 1099 staff that are going to continue being a part of your organization or not, they are going to have their own application process. The government is going to pay for their usual 1099 that they get. They pay for it. So in your organization, you can have a conversation with that employee and you can let them know, hey, okay, so here's the deal, all right? This is something that, again, not giving you financial advice. I'm telling you how I am going to operate with my guys over here. You can actually go and talk to this person and be like, hey, dear 1099 staff, because you're getting a 1099 from AGM, I cannot include you on the Paycheck Protection Program. I can't, which means that I technically cannot pay you. Now, this is what I'm going to do, all right? Because my income has dropped a lot. This is what I'm going to do, all right? And you tell me what you want to do because I want to cater to you and what you want. What I'm going to do is I'm going to keep on paying you, but on the 10th of April, you got to help me apply for your own customer government aid, not customer, government aid, which is going to be on the 10th of April. The government one that is launching for the Paycheck Protection Program is tomorrow. I'll repeat this again. On Friday, the 3rd of April, this program, you can apply for it. You cannot apply for it right now. You can't. It's not available. We don't even know exactly the time.
The form is available.
The form is available, and I'll tell you guys how to access that form. But right now, we don't even know what time it is. I told Ernesto to look into it. We don't know if it's going to be like Apple style at 3 a.m. To 12 midnight, or if it's going to be like at 7 a.m. or at 9 a.m. when the banks open.
Now, here's something very important. You apply through your bank. So the best thing you can be doing now.
We'll get to that. You apply through your bank. Okay, we'll get to that in a second. Then back to the 1099 before we get into that. Okay. On the 1099, you're going to be able to talk to the actual 1099 staff member and tell them, hey, so I'm going to apply for this program for my paycheck protection for my staff, but you are on the 1099. And because you're in a 1099, I cannot include you on this program. Now, good news, you can apply for your own government assistance. And that's going to be not the 3rd of April, it's going to be the 10th of April. And that's going to be what they call the EIDL loan. So you can actually go ahead and submit for that particular thing. So what happens is that whatever you get here on the program, we got two scenarios here, all right? And the staff member needs to decide what scenario they want to take, all right? Scenario number one, and the most preferred one. I'm going to keep on paying you, my 1099 staff, until you get this loan. Once you get this loan, which is a grant, it's not really a loan, right? It's really just a grant, all right? This, even though it's called an EIDL loan, it's really just a grant, all right? You don't have to pay it back. Once you get that grant, I'm going to take that money and I'm going to consider it that I paid you for, if it's $10,000 and I paid you $2,500 a week, then I paid you 4 weeks of work. Even though I didn't pay you, the government paid you. But you have to continue working for me. That's an option that you have. It's an option. What is the second option? Second option is the following. You don't work for my company anymore, all right? And I'm going to understand it, and I'm going to love you and appreciate you for it. And I want to thank you for all your hard work and all your dedication to my organization. But because I was not able to claim you on the Paycheck Protection Program, then I am not able to survive with you on my actual expense sheet. I can't survive because we're all getting hit. I know for sure. I started opening up my course for free. I don't sell my course anymore. I'm giving it away. I got 6,000 people that have come into my program for free. 6,000 people down $2,000, $12 million in scholarships that I've given out over the last week. I'm not getting income there. I'm not selling my digital programs. Even some of my students got refunds. I told them that anybody that's a paid student, they can submit info@manuelsuareztraining.com and we will credit them 2 months once they get charged. All right. So that's what I'm doing to give you guys relief. So my income has come crashing down. That's a reality. Also, I don't have clients lined up like I used to have telling me, can you build my bot? Can you run my ads? Can you do my marketing? Here's a bunch of money that I set aside for marketing. Guys, it's a reality. I don't have that. So I need to get backup. I need to get support just like everybody else is getting support. Am I crying about it? Am I upset? Heck no. I am more energized than ever. I like to thrive in situations like this, and that's all part of it. And we're going to survive and we're going to be okay. But you got to be willing to look at the reality. One of the great superpowers of a good entrepreneur is the ability to utilize common sense to survive. It's common sense, all right? So I can tell my 1099 staff, which path? Hey, I love you. Which path do you want to take? Do you want to quit AGM and take your $10,000 right now and don't have to work for it? And hopefully you get a job afterwards? Or do you value enough your position here at AGM that you're going to allow this grant to kind of replace your pay for 4 weeks or whatever that amount of government grant was? So that's what you have to decide. And the actual staff member can decide what they want to do, but they're going to have to follow through with that, or else you're not going to be able to keep them on board. I think that's fair. You guys can tell me if you think that's fair or not, but I believe that's going to be the way that you want to go about it, especially with staff members that are valuable. You want to keep them on board, but you don't have a particular solution because your income has been
also
destroyed.
From a responsibility standpoint, it's not okay for a 1099 worker to keep getting paid and get the grant. So now you're making double.
You got it, right? So this is a grant for people that are not going to get that money. So you can continue working. You got the grant. The government pays you for a while, or you can get that grant and forget about us and quit, and hopefully you do great, which is a better option for people that are not really on, there's people that, the Fiverr employees on the US, right? Copywriters that are freelancers, people that handle Amazon accounts like for clients, they get 1099, right?
You have to take care of family members that are sick.
Exactly. So for those situations, then that scenario makes a lot of sense. They don't have to continue working. AGM people that I consider staff that are on a 1099 because they work remotely, that's how I'm going to handle it. And you guys get to decide how you want to handle it yourselves. Okay, good. Government is what is it again? Economic disaster loan.
Economic injury disaster loan.
Disaster loan. Okay, good. Google is your friend, right? Google is your friend. He's going to help you present to you with any questions that you have on the subject. Okay. And then again, something that I'll like to recommend to you guys right now, and I'll go to it for those of you guys that are interested. I'll give a shout out to this guy right here. What's his name again?
𝗔𝗯𝗔𝗥𝗡.
We have been getting a lot of data from this guy right here.
He posts about 5 videos a day with the updates.
He explains things really well. So if you guys want to get more information for somebody that's more qualified, his name is JJ the CPA. All right, JJ the CPA.
He even has a playlist on the PPP.
So he even has a playlist, like he said, a lot of information on the subject. Get educated. Information is your friend. Ignorance is your enemy. All right, get educated so you can make sure that you stay alive. Because let me guarantee you something. All right, there is a comeback. There is a massive comeback. It's coming. It might get darker before it gets bright, but the comeback is coming, and you want to be set up for that. And having government assistance is going to be a great way for you to be able to get through that comeback faster. Because the truth of the matter is that the help is there. If you don't want to grab it because you're too proud, then that's on you. All right, it's going to make your challenge even more difficult along the way. But we want to make sure that you have the information so you can make your own decisions. Okay, so we got just the prerequisites. 25% decrease in payroll, right?
In income.
In income, okay. And that's February and probably March.
That is, February, March. That is an estimation. I haven't read, official documents stating that, but they just said, since we got hit, a decrease of 25% at least.
Right. Okay, guys. So everybody that's here live, I got hundreds of people. Excited to have you guys here. If you're joining in late, you might definitely need to watch this replay. If you're on Zoom and you missed a part of it, go to my Facebook page, Manuel Suarez, facebook.com/the Ninja Marketer, so you can get on the replay and watch the whole thing from the beginning. It's going to be the same experience here than on Zoom. And watch that because you're going to get some direction in regards to the Paycheck Protection Program based on the information that we got in ourselves over the last week or so. Important. Right now, this thing is being talked about today because tomorrow, application and enrollment for this particular loan is open. And I believe, what is the turnaround time on this? They're saying
it's going to be very fast, within days. So
Okay.
because what they're trying to do, if we apply and we get the loan in 2 months, we're not going to be able to survive, right? A lot of companies won't be able to survive. So what they're trying to do is get you the money fast so you can keep paying your employees, so the employees can keep paying rent and bills and buy stuff and keep the economy moving. Money doesn't disappear. We always have the same amount of money. But what happens is when there's no movement of money is when we get the depressions and recessions. So that's what the government is trying to prevent.
You got it. Okay, so somebody asked me, it was Sylvia. What, could you please write out the name of the YouTube guy? Ask and you shall receive. JJ the CPA. JJ the CPA. All right, go ahead and YouTube him. He's not my friend. He might become my friend now because I sent a lot of people to this channel. But JJ the CPA has done a good job of educating this guy right here, and then he has educated me, and we've been, this is real, guys. This is real. It's happening. I mean, I've never been a big fan of, obviously, food stamps and things that the government gives out to people that don't produce, because people that don't produce, if they get rewarded for non-production, it actually is counterproductive to the person. I believe that it damages them. When somebody is actually getting something in exchange for nothing, it damages them. But that's not you. It's different. We are producers. We are entrepreneurs. We're business owners. We're keeping the show on the road. And because of that, we need to continue keeping the show on the road. The economy is going to either make it or not because of us, because of businesses, because of the entrepreneurs. When the entrepreneurs die, when the businesses succumb, that's what collapses the economy on this planet, all right? So we want to make sure that we stay alive. So this is not just a normal government assistance. This is a reality of the times that we're at today, unprecedented, never before experienced, and that's why we want to be able to take advantage of it. Okay, great. So Rain said that she posted it, and Rain, you can post it also on the comments on the actual Facebook Live that we're on right now, for sure. Okay, we'll get to some other questions in a second. Let's finish explaining this. We should do this in about 10 more minutes, guys, all right? If you guys have more questions. So, all right, so JJ the CPA has been written down. Let's get back to and the links are gonna be in the comments. Let's get back to the prerequisites on this. 25% decrease, 10K a year in payroll, all right? Mm-hmm. So that payroll, all right, does it have to be for a payroll company? Like Gusto or like any of these companies?
This, just to clear it up, it doesn't mean that if you're doing $10,000 or less in payroll, you're disqualified. You are still qualified, but let's just say you're doing $6,000 a year in payroll. That means you're paying $500 a month. 2.5 months is $1,250. What would you apply for that when you can get the $10,000 grant?
Right. It wouldn't make sense. So if you're, oh, okay, good. So that makes more sense, right? So why would you apply for that one when you can get $10,000 here that is not even a loan, it's a grant? So if you're paying, I would even say like $12,000 in payroll.
Well, to correct this number, the breakout point, I would say, is $48,000 a year. Okay, $48,000 a year.
48,000. Why is that? Where are you coming up with that number?
$48,000 a year. It's $4,000 a month, right? That you're paying in payroll times 2.5 months, you will get 10K. So if you're paying $48,000 a year, sorry for this number, guys, this should be $48,000. Either, if you apply to either plan, you will get the exact same amount.
Okay, good. That makes sense. All right. So big correction here. All right. I'll just beat up Ernesto afterwards for false information. Just kidding. I don't do that here. I do love him. 40K a year. All right. 48K a year in salary is going to end up getting you $10,000. If you don't have $48,000 a year in salaries, all right, in payrolls, then you are going to apply for the EIDL loan and get a $10,000 grant, all right? That's not a loan, that is a grant. So that's very clear. Why that number? Again, $10,000 is a grant that you get as a small business owner. If you're a solopreneur or whatever, you're gonna get that support. It's gonna probably be similar requirements, 25% decrease in your sales and all those things, and you can get this grant, and it's gonna be simple. But this one is not gonna be available until
April 10th.
10th of
Now,
April.
I'm gonna be honest. I haven't looked deeply into this form because this is not what we're doing in AGM. Just go to Google, put EIDL loan.
Look at the
and you will see
requirements.
the requirements.
Right.
You know, so I don't know the exact requirements, but I know they're making it very, very easy. Even if you're paying $500 a month in payroll, you're a small business, you will still get the $10,000. Why? Because the government is just trying to help everyone just move money around.
And if you don't have the data, I would say that you can focus on, again, somebody like JJ, the CPA. Look at his videos. I bet you he has forms and videos describing what this particular grant is going to be all about. $10,000, free money, government assistance, so you can push through. Somebody that asks for like, what about inventory? Well, that might be how you can keep your inventory in stock and be able to continue in business, all right? So that should answer that point. So again, $48,000 in salary and above, you can go to this program, which is the Paycheck Protection Program, PPP. Less than $48,000, you can go straight to getting a grant, all right?
Now here's something important. In order to qualify for the forgiveness, you need to keep your staff and you need to keep your salary at where you are. I cannot tell Manuel, let's fire half of the staff, let's triple our salaries, and we'll make a lot of money. You know, so the government will ask you for evidence that you still have your staff. Now, if you have 60 staff and you let one go that you were going to let him go anyway, you should be okay.
Exactly. So in our case, we have 60. We've let go, how many people so far? Two people. You know, it became like a sort of a.
By the way, this is not the reason why we let him go.
Right. There's two people that we didn't believe were valuable at this point, and because of that, we let them go. All right. They're probably were going to be valuable in the future, but not right now. I do value every single human being. These two people, we were not able to keep up because it didn't make business sense. There's other people out there. I saw a video from somebody that is a big social media business guy, you know, 150 employees. He let go of 48 of them. There's a lot of people that have let go of a lot of people. I don't know if you guys saw in the news, but this week, what is it? 6.2 million unemployment claims. What the heck? Wow. All right. And we all thought that last week was good, was a big deal, right? Last week, there was 3.2. This week, there's 6.2 or 6.3 unemployment claims. In the last 2 weeks, there's been like 10 million people, right? It's like off the rails, incredible insanity, right? So people are being let go left and right. And it makes sense because government crackdowns, government shutdowns, stay at home orders, stay at home this. Okay, well, we cannot be in business, right? It's a reality. The highest ever before this number was 600K, all right? In history, 600K in a single week. And now we're at 6 million. Guys, so if any of you guys have a job, you should count your blessings and say thank you very much and thank your CEOs and their seniors for keeping you going, because in reality, people are flocking in a big, massive way. And that's what's happening today. Reality is important to be able to look at it and understand it, all right? So you want to keep staff. This PPP program is being launched because they're trying to motivate CEOs, right, to be able to keep people on staff. I'm definitely highly motivated. If I can get a paycheck to cover 2.5 months of my payroll, I'm not letting go of anybody valuable. Even if I'm under, even if I'm making less than what I'm spending, I'm keeping them on board. And I am definitely with a strong conviction of being able to keep them here because I value every single one of my staff and I value who they are, their dedication, their actual loyalty to me is very valuable. And I don't like to let that go. So I'm going to keep my staff if I'm able to get this approved. And so far, what do we got? 25% decrease, check, right? 48K payroll in payroll year. That's funny. You mean a week, right? Spent in 8 weeks in payroll, rent, mortgage, utility bills. We got that. Now we have. This is important, guys. This point right here, just to recap this particular point. Once you get that money, let's say that you get $200,000, right? You have 8 weeks to spend that money, right? 8 weeks. You're gonna have to use that money and spend it, not in buying gold brick bars, all right? Not in investing money in silver. You have to grab that money and give it in your payroll, in your rent, in your mortgage, in your utility bills, all right? If you do that, you can actually submit that data and go through the process again, and they'll say, thank you very much for helping the economy survive throughout these difficult times. You have been forgiven, all right? And that's gonna be the case if you put that in place.
And you don't have to pay taxes on it. It's not taxable income.
Listen to that. I didn't even know that. So it's not taxable income. You will not have to pay taxes on that particular money being gifted to you as that particular aid. Okay, keep the staff, right? So what happens, Ernesto? What happens if you get $200,000 and you have 60 staff and you let go of 25 of them?
I don't think you're gonna get approved for the forgiveness.
Right. So that means that you're gonna have to pay after the 6 months deferred. All right. If you did not keep people on the payroll, they're gonna be like, okay, fine, you are disqualified from loan forgiveness. And now you're going to pay a monthly payment for, I don't know how many years. I think they were talking about 10 years, right? Something like that. And it's going to be up to 4% maximum 4% interest. All right. Okay. Any other notes on this?
No, that's pretty much it.
Okay. Well, you mentioned something that I stopped you, which is apply for your bank. Tell them about that.
So there is a form. We can send the link, or you can Google the form. It's very easy to find. You just put PPP loan application form on Google.
Let's do this right now, all right? Just because
And
I'm a little crazy. Go for it.
so you apply through your bank.
What do I search for?
PPP application form. What your bank is gonna do, once you get approved, they're gonna give you the money and they're gonna get the money from the government. They're like a middleman. Instead of you getting the money directly deposited from the government, you're gonna get it through your bank. Your bank makes 5% paid by the government.
Okay, they should be able to see it on their screen. Can you guys confirm that you can see it on the screen?
There's a download PDF.
Okay, everybody confirm.
Very simple form.
Do they see it? Do they see the comment? You guys in Zoom, tell me fast, all right? And also on Facebook Live. Yeah, great, fantastic, visible. Okay, good. So you guys saw exactly what I typed in. Let's go through the process again. PPP application form. You search for that. All right. You open up that first link and here you go. There's a download PDF button right here. You're going to click on this thing. You press that button and here you go. Neto, we got the sample right here. What do you want to tell them about this particular form?
The form is self-explained. You just fill it out. What I was talking about earlier is that the bank will pay you the money once you get approved and they get the money from the government.
Just to clarify, he meant to say self-explanatory.
Exactly.
Just correcting him.
Sorry. So the banks are motivated to get this rolling. Now, the best advice that I can give you now is to contact your bank or your bank representative and make sure that whenever they open for submission, you know how to submit it. We don't know how we're going to submit this. My banker, my personal banker, told me that they're going to have a link where we're going to enter all the information requested.
Right. JJ, the CPA guy, he did talk about that you got to get prepared. Today is a day to get prepared. Get all your documentation. If you have a payroll company, get with them on the phone and get the entire data for 2019. Your payroll reports, your payroll taxes, all that stuff, right? I did see him talk about payroll taxes, Ernesto. What is important about the payroll taxes part of things?
Well, I haven't seen anything in writing. It just says submit your 2019 payroll amount. But I've seen two versions. One of them, it says include payroll taxes, and other information that I've read is you don't include payroll taxes.
Okay.
We're not sure yet.
Right. We're going to find out more details. Now, we don't know exactly the time, again, when this is going to be available. I would say that pay attention. We're still researching it. Pay attention to it. Keep on Googling, keep on refreshing. We don't know, and I believe that they haven't announced yet what time you're going to be able to apply for your bank, because I believe banks are going to have different rules, but it is absolutely first come, first serve basis. If you're the first one to apply, you are the first one to get attention too, all right? So if you have a bank that you know is not going to have that much volume, then chances are you're going to be able to get through that process faster. But at the same time, if you have a bank that is a big bank, like a Wells Fargo bank, and you're one of the first ones, I bet you there's going to be money in your account in 2 or 3 days, right?
Yeah, now they have to be approved banks.
Approved banks. All right, and you can find out by talking to your own banks and talking to your own institutions. Find out, if you go to the website, you're going to get that data. If you call them, you're going to get that data. Banks are essential businesses, so they are open and they can attend to your phone calls right now, okay? If you call them. So let's see what else we got. Okay, good. So apply for your bank. Is there any other thing that is a prerequisite that you have found out along the way?
No, just get all your documentations, your 941 form, which is your trimester form that you use to pay for your payroll taxes.
941 form is your trimester form. So if you have a payroll company, your payroll company will give you that, right?
Correct. We, in our case, I just logged in and I downloaded it.
So you went to Gusto, you logged in, and you had the 941 form, and you were able to download it just like that, right? Okay, if you have a CPA, then you can contact them and be like, hey, I need my form, and talk to them and get them downloaded. Have them send it to you so you can be ready for that. Because I believe that because of social distancing, this is all going to be user-friendly, and you're going to be able to submit the whole thing on the actual website, all right, without having to go somewhere else or physically having to go to a location, all right? I believe that they're going to have to set themselves up to be able to do this, but I don't know at this point. I know right now banks are closed, and most of them are actually open only for drive-thrus and by appointment only. So logic says that they're going to be able to actually service you all through the internet. And then there's something that also we discovered, that if you are a 20% owner or more, then you need to be providing some extra questions, right? Answer some extra questions, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
Anything about that? Any questions that specific for that?
In the form, it says that it expires September 29. So will they still have money then? I don't think so, but if
I wouldn't hope so. I wouldn't work for that. Okay. Okay, so if you're watching this video September 30th, I apologize. All right. I really do apologize. Okay, great. Good. So I guess we'll get to a few questions and then we'll end. Anything else that you know? 941 forms? And that's it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you recommend that any small business out there, any of our clients, any of our students, anybody that wants to keep their business thriving, do you recommend that they actually go through this process and do whatever they need to do to be there, submitting the application so they can get that money? What do you think?
Absolutely, absolutely, because the whole purpose of this is to get money so you can then spend it on staff to keep the economy going. So it is an absolute. Well, I'm also like Manuel. I never apply for food stamps or any governmental help, but in this case, it's a stimulus to get the economy going.
Oh, okay, good. Look at, I have a comment from Trisha. She understood something else. All right, so I want to clarify that. I don't know if she's still here. Hopefully she is. She says, my understanding is payroll is 2.5 times the payroll. 20K salary equals 50K. Answer that question, then.
Well, the way you calculate your 2.5 months is how much did you spend in 2019? Maybe in January, you were spending 20,000 a month, but in December, because you grew, now you're spending 40,000 a month.
Let me answer this one because I understood it better, all right? What she's saying is that she understood the 2.5 months payroll. She understood that you're going to multiply your monthly. She understood that if the payroll is 20K to salary equals 50 because it's 2.5 months, right? You misduplicated. You misunderstood that particular thing, Trisha. I wish it would be like that. It's not like that. If you make, all right. So check this out. Let's do a formula here, all right? Let me just. Okay, I'll do it over here on this side. Well, I'll open up a new one. Okay, So 2019, okay, let's look at this. So January, well, that's bad. Okay, January, we paid 10K in payroll. February, we did 15K. March, we did 12. Neto, you want to start doing the math because you're really good at that? Okay. April, our payroll was 22,000. Obviously, usually you're not going to get these dramatic variations, right? It's pretty stable generally. And as you grow, my payroll has gone up every single month because at the beginning of 2019, I had like 35, 38, 40 staff, and now I have 60, right? So it has gone up. So April, and then we got June, we had 18K. And then July, we had 15K in payroll. Let's keep going over here. August, we had 15, okay? And then September, we got 15. On October, we did 12, okay? On November, by the way, I wish that my payroll cost was so low. It's not. November, it's 20K. December, my payroll was 25K. Boom, we boomed that month. We paid a lot of money. So what do we got? How much money do we got? So $179,000 spent in payroll, okay? Good, so now what do?
We divide it by 12.
Okay, so 179 is a total, all right? So now we divide that by 12, okay? And what's the math over here? I forgot how to do math.
It's 179.
179,000 divided by 12 is
14,916.
916, okay? So 14,916 is your average monthly payroll from this scenario. It is your average monthly payroll of 2019, all right? Payroll, W-2s, insurance premiums, investment funds. That's it. Not 1099s, not anything else, okay?
Owner's draw don't count.
Yeah, no, for example, like mortgages, no. Utilities, no. You can use the money that you get for that, but for this calculation is this, all right? This is it. So 179,000 divided by 12 is $14,916, all right? You're going to get 2.5 times that number. That's what you're getting, all right? So what is 14,916 divided by 2?
Multiply by 2.
No, divided by 2 first. Give me that. I'll tell you why.
1,400, 900, and
14,916 divided by 2.
It's 7,458.
Okay, good. So check this out. 1 month, 2 months, half a month. All right. So what is the number again? 7,000 what?
700. Hold on, I deleted it.
So it's going to be 458. I think so.
14,916.
14.
No. 14 divided by 2. 7,458.
Okay, I already knew that. Okay, good. So this is what you get. All right, right here. What is the total amount? If I have this payroll right here, okay. Again, at the end of the day, the bank determines. You don't go to the bank and you say, hey, you need to give me so much. But this is basically what the formula is going to look like. If you provide the documentation, this is what you get. So what are we going to get on this scenario, Ernesto?
37,290.
So I'm going to get $37,290, a check, all right, for $37,290 deposited directly into my bank account, all right? And if I'm able to use that money over the next 8 weeks, and I keep on paying my staff payroll, and I pay mortgage, and I pay utility, and I stay in business with the same staff, I mean, if you lose a couple staff, it shouldn't affect it, then you get something beautiful. Just like the Father in church, when you confess your sins, the government will forgive you. The only difference is that it's not a religious forgiveness. It's an actual government physical loan forgiveness. If you're able to actually continue paying these things over the next 8 weeks. All right.
From the day you get the loan.
From the day you get the loan. So if you said to yourself, I'm just going to grab that money and run with it and just fire everybody and just go and drink pina coladas in Cancun after the actual social distancing days. No, you're going to have to pay that back. All right. It's not going to work. That's dishonest. All right. That's not being a solid businessman taking advantage of a recovery program, a relief program. All right.
One of the best advice I can give you is to be completely honest and completely transparent. One of the questions they ask you on the form is, what is your 2.5 month salary? If they're not asking you for evidence, don't put double, because they can come back and then ask you for evidence. And if you cannot prove it, you might be banned.
So funny. All right. So Dion Reynolds pointed out that I missed April. May. I actually missed May. Oh, I made a month disappear, guys. I'm sorry about that. I definitely missed that one. So if you add 15K over here in May, you are going to have an 194 number. All right. So you're going to get a couple of dollars extra. Okay. You get the idea. So I apologize for that. Okay, great. Good. 4 more questions, and then a few more questions, then we'll end at 2:00. Okay, it's 1:57 p.m. right now. What about if owners are not in payroll? Like I had the same question about owners not on payroll. I pay myself with owner draw. I have 2 employees on payroll, and then I owner draw. It's not about owner's draw, right?
It's not about owner's draw. I heard, and again, I didn't hear this from the IRS, but I heard from a few training videos that I saw that you cannot give raises. You cannot say, now everybody's going to make more just to cover it. You cannot, as far as hiring new people, like if you want to hire yourself.
I got that question too. Can you hire employees who have not worked for you before?
I'm not quite sure. But as soon as we get that information, we'll make it public.
Yeah. So if you have operated 100% using offshore, very common in e-commerce, talent, non-US staff, then Rob, the only option that I have for you, all right, that you're going to have to research is going back. This is a question asked by Rob Kaplan. The only action that I will recommend that you do, I think it's not this one actually. Let me go back to this one right here. It's for you to apply to the EIDL loan, all right? So you're gonna get a maximum 10K grant. I don't have any other workaround. I am not informed. This was about the PPP plan, all right? This was that I'm sure that there's other things. If you have a business that want to keep afloat right now, I know you have this for sure. It's the EIDL one, and you can look into that, and then you can find out what other programs you can benefit from, and then study somebody like JJ, the CPA guy, to see what other things you can benefit from right now. Okay. So glad Margarita Diaz said owner compensation. I wonder if there's a way that you can actually mark 2009. You can, right? It's a little too late. Like if you mark it. As you paid yourself that money, it was payroll instead of owner's compensation. I don't think so. Right?
Yeah, I don't think so. That would be kind of tweaking the numbers,
right,
to try to get more money.
One thing that we forgot to mention, okay, very, very important. All right, I just remembered on the actual requirements here, number 6, it would be up to 100K. Okay. Per person. Let me explain to you what that means. All right. If this guy right here, he's on my payroll. Ernesto, you're on my payroll?
I am.
Does AGM pay you every week?
Correct.
Or every 2 weeks, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. I pay you. All right. You're on the payroll. You qualify, right? If you make more than $100,000, you cap out at 100K. Okay. So if Ernesto made $150,000 in 2019 with payroll, I can only include 100K into the actual PPP program. All right. So Ernesto is going to cap out at 100. They will still help me with his paycheck, but he's going to cap out at 100. So any of my staff members that make more than 100, they are protected up to $100,000. All right. If I have my chief marketing officer, Jorge, making $148,000 in 2019, I take away $48,000 and I report $100,000 to the government on this particular PPP program, all right? That's kind of how it works. That's one thing that we forgot to mention. So a lot of you guys, most of you guys that have staff, you don't really have staff that are getting paid more than 100K, but then you have a few rock stars in some cases. Like this guy's a rock star. You think he deserves more than 100K? He says yes. He says yes, all right? Because he's very good at what he does. So if he gets paid more than 100K, then I cap out on the PPP at 100K, all right? So I would actually take, if this payroll total, going back to this over here, if I go back to this one over here, and the total is 194K, all right? 194, all right? And Ernesto made 124, then I have to subtract 24 from this total. And it will go down to 170, what I need to pay, all right? I hope that makes sense. Did I explain it well?
Yep.
Okay, good.
Now, keep in mind that bonuses include as part of the payroll. So you might have some people that make $500 a week plus bonus.
Bonus is excluded. Bonuses are excluded.
No, it's included.
Oh, yeah?
Included, yeah. Yeah,
Bonuses
bonuses and commissions.
are included on it.
Because
wow.
as long as you did it through, which the way it's supposed to be done is you do it through the payroll company and they pay payroll taxes. So as long as you did it correctly and you paid through the W-2 payroll tax system, it is included.
That's a big, big deal, guys. For example, here in Natural Slim, we service a lot of people over the phone, and the salespeople, they get commissions based on their sales. So we can include those commissions because we take taxes off of those commissions. And that way we can include that particular number as part of the payroll. Fantastic. Okay, great. Let's see here. Okay. So Kelsey says, you use 2019 as the period to calculate payroll. Are we able to use only 2019 or the last 12 months period? We already kind of answered this one, but the 2019 is not optional. That's what it requires, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You have to use 2019, all right? You have to use January through December of 2019.
That's what it says on the form.
That's what it says on the form. Okay, good. Let's see. I think that's good. One last question. Okay, Kristen said something even easier. Kristen Splitfly is here. She says, you go to the SBA.org and it's the first thing you see at the top of the webpage. Super simple. So somebody's saying, Barry's saying, what about the SBA loans? Let's answer that question. What about the SBA loans, all right? This is an actual division of that. It's being put in the same program as the SBA, but the SBA loans don't have the loan forgiveness, they don't have the urgency, and they don't have a few of the other factors. So this is what you're gonna do. It's being put inside the program, but it's a separate division, which is called the PPP program, which we've been talking about throughout this whole webinar, all right? So it is all part of that particular area, but it's a little bit, it's tweaked in many areas, and also on the actual banks, you're gonna be able to process this through the major banks, which is one major thing because they are set up for this right now. Can you get it for a new company with no expenses or payroll? No, you are not gonna be able to create a company and get a grant, all right? You have to show evidence. This is a question from Bihari, right? You have to show evidence that you've been in business, all right? Otherwise it wouldn't make sense. So if you have a new company, you technically don't qualify because you have a new company. So you haven't been affected by the COVID-19 situation, right? You might say, yeah, I've been affected because my business was incredible and it was gonna boom. No, you haven't. Not like everybody else that has a business, not right now. Okay, last question. And then we will take off, guys, and you guys gotta go and research. And if you have any questions, go check out this JJ guy and reach out to him, and he might be able to get back to you guys. Who knows? For Marla, what about the people who were not fired by put on furlough without pay? I don't know what furlough means. I'm not sure. You know what furlough means?
No.
Do you know what furlough means, John?
Just not really.
Maybe put on hold. Sorry, guys. We're a little uneducated in some areas. Without pay until the company can afford to bring you back. all right, that's going to be a problem because the company is not going to be able to qualify for it. But the good news is that from people that were put on this furlough, whatever it is, they were put on hold, you can get the grant, all right? You're going to qualify for the EIDL grant, all right?
Now, here's something that I read in one of the articles. Let's say last week you had 40 staff and you fired 20 staff, okay? But now you apply for this loan and you show how much you pay in payroll in 2019 and you get approved and you get the money. You will use this money to rehire your old staff. You can do that, pay them the money, and then you'll get forgiven.
Right. So again, one last thing, independent contractors, they are able to qualify for this particular loan, all right? Independent contractors, if you need to get help, if you have been getting paid with different tasks, you can make your application and find out and research about this, which we haven't really taught you about. You need to research about the EIDL loan. All right. So any parting words, Neto?
No, just educate yourself, keep learning, keep researching, talk to your bank, talk to your CPA, talk to your big bookkeeper, have all your books in order, and get ready for tomorrow because millions of people are going to be applying for this loan tomorrow. So you want to be fast, you want to be clear, and you want to have all your documents in place.
Talk to your bank, find out, try to be on the ball. Don't let this opportunity pass you by, all right? Talk to your bank and find out what time, stay connected, find out if they have any data as to when the actual process is going to be ready for you to apply. Get the documentation, put your numbers in order, put your QuickBooks up to date, get your 2019 numbers for payroll taxes, for the payrolls paid, get your numbers straight, get informed, check this guy out. I really like the way he educated, changing the CPA, and you should be able to actually get a lot of information. Can I zoom in on this? I don't think I can on YouTube. I can't. You're going to be able to get a lot of data from him, a lot more than these two guys that are expert marketers, but not really expert anything else. All right. Well, maybe he's an expert in child caring. He has a daughter. He's a great dad. All right. Okay. So see you guys next time. Stay connected. Keep your business alive because I want to be able to sell you a service in the future. All right. If you stay alive, I can actually provide you more service in AGM, help you with my business, give you more value, educate you. Who knows? Maybe I'll sell you a course in the future when my course is not available for free, which by the way, right now it is for free. If you guys want to check it out. If you haven't signed up yet, you can go to manuelsuarez.com/expansion and get access to my $2,000 free scholarship with no upsells, no downsells, no cross sells, no sales, no nothing. Just pure value to you guys so you can survive through this digital era that we're going through right now. All right. Talk to you guys next time.